Okay, greetings everyone, and welcome to my Sunday, 19th of December 2021 live stream. Usual Sunday evening installment of basically checking out just how nonsensical the whole mainstream media tends to be. They're constantly bringing out stories. I'm just checking my audio. As you can, and you can guarantee week after week, every time you you're daft enough to actually open a newspaper. I never buy newspapers anymore. Haven't bought them for at least 5 years. Absolute trash from start to finish. Really, yeah, devoid of any morals and the people that work for them. Yeah, newspapers absolute rubbish. But when you turn on the TV, hourly news bulletins on some channels. Some channels are literally 24/7 news, and you and it's personally, I think it gets a bit silly. So we're going to look at one particular story that's come out. Does it suggest that at some point people have to recognize when things have gone a bit over the top, a bit far? It could be time to take a reality check. So we'll be looking at some of those stories. As always, if anyone's got any links, think they want us to have a look at this evening, please leave it in the live chat. Greetings to Mudlark Digging Up the Thames and Isa Jones Kev. Thanks for joining me in the live chat. Always good to see the pair of you. Looks like it might be a bit of a quiet evening tonight, with not a huge amount of people tuning in by the look of it, but never mind, we can live with that. I appreciate those of you that have taken the time to come on in. Right. Right, we're going to take a look at our first stories. Yeah, greetings, as I said, to Kev and Mudlark. Hope you're both doing well. Right, how are things going? Okay, I'm going to share my screen and we're going to look at our first story. I did notice actually demonstrations going on in London again today. Actually, not today. Yesterday, sorry. Maybe all over the weekend. Hi to Sweet Baby Kitten. Thanks for popping in. Actually, you're an early subscriber of mine. I remember you back on my original channel. Going back to 2017 when I first started making these videos. Last week at the end of the live stream, we did play out with an old video of mine. As I said at the time, it was the first one that ever got large audience. But yeah, one of the early videos of mine that got a big audience, about 20,000 views, this was back in the time where you could realistically put videos on YouTube, and if they were more than just rubbish, well, you could expect people to tune in and take an interest in what you had to present. But now it's very much not those days anymore. But yeah, the video, and as I said at the start of last week's video, although it was one that got lots of views, it was also one where I made a bit of an error, a blunder. It's typical that particular video happened to be the one that, everyone, the one that I first got much notice with, and for a little bit I was a laughingstock. I do like to, because, the guy is on GMTV, Good Morning Britain, whatever it is, going on about how he witnessed some attackers in Borough Market. So and I did this. Actually, Sweet Baby Kitten, you may well remember the video. I think you used to be tuning into my stuff back then. Michelle from Oz, greetings, thanks for joining us. Good to see you in the live chat. I'm free, thank God you're free. You were always free, Michelle. That's what I say. They're not going to lock me down, not for... I don't recognise they're rubbish. As I said, at some point, you have to say things have crept a little bit too far from... I'm sure we've all got a line. I'm sure we all like to think that we draw a line in our, metaphorical sand and say, I'm not going to step over this point because that's insanity, or that's evil, or that's greedy, or selfish, or for whatever reason you have that, where there's things you're not generally prepared to do because it's nuts, basically. Have we reached that point? I am glad to hear that you guys were released, so to speak, Michelle. I hope you managed to get back to the gym, and yeah, good to see you in the live chat. Mudlight says, I agree with Bobby that these freedom marches are arranged by the same people behind the lockdowns and restrictions. Just look at all the right-wing celebrities attending. There is I've said wonderful channel in the past, and I don't necessarily change my view on that. A guy, he does have YouTube channels, but they keep getting shut down. As Sweet Baby Kitten says, they banned original channels for no reason. Yeah, I got my 3 strikes, same as everyone got back then. That was when I first started discovering channels like PK, Russian Vids. Who else was around at that time? There was a guy called How I See the World, and they were bringing content out, and I think, well, all of them no doubt got a channel taken down. Anyway, yeah, this guy, he attends every single rally and every single demonstration, and while I think, in a way, I admire these people that are going down and making noise and telling government what they stand for, what they think. Bit of a silly day, as people have pointed out, to do it on a Saturday when no one's even. Do they attend Parliament on a Saturday? Right. Yeah. Let's look at this first story. I mean, how ridiculous. Right. Bear with me. I'm gonna line myself up. Yeah. I mean, I could show a couple of minutes of this if I can get it onto my computer. I'll try and share a couple of minutes of this footage from the rally the other day. Where is it? I did. I recorded a bit of the channel I'm referring to is called Dissent Media, and I have left links. I have shared links to his channels in the past. Right, I should have a video ready for us to play in a minute. I don't know if anyone's joined us from Twitter. I did leave a tweet over there. Right, is this coming through? I'll have to try. Oh, here we go. Don't know if you heard the little beeps. That means something's arrived. Right, I just have to. Oh, no, it doesn't. It said it was cancelled. It's quite a large video. Okay, what's going on there? Right, where is it? Bear with me, sorry, just while I load this up, or at least try and find it. Doesn't seem to be sharing, actually. That's a shame. We could look at his Twitch channel. I'm sure he won't mind us sharing it. Bear with me, I'll just find this. How much benefit is there really in? I'm not gonna, like I say, I've got admiration for people that will go to places. Right, I'm going to show my screen now. We'll take down our picture of the pink Hetty. We will be looking at that story in a minute. Right. Yeah, we'll try and find the video I saw yesterday. It's about, he goes down to London pretty much every weekend, and he live streams these protests. Where are we? I tell you what, maybe I'll turn the audio down. yeah, the birds were being. It did look very staged. That's the problem. All the big rucks with police officers, they seem very controlled, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I have shared stuff from this guy before. Do you know there are people out there who have said they don't think this content creator is legitimate? Well, he's legit, you know, fair enough. He seems to do. I like the stuff he puts out myself. I've spoke to him on the phone. He invites calls, which is something I've always tried doing. Mute that. Right, let's just check my thing. Right, looking in the live chat. Sorry, people, getting there. Okay, where are we? Can we skip this advert yet? Yeah, for me, as I've said before, the time when you need to protest isn't on a Saturday afternoon when you've got thousands of people around you all agreeing with you. The English rose. Is that one of their symbols, as it were? If I went to a protest and I saw, particularly on a Saturday afternoon, I'm not sure. I imagine I've said this before because it is part of my weekly routine. Just over a year ago, I was given the opportunity to. I say given the opportunity. I found myself able to observe the Sabbath day, the seventh day, as is part of the Ten Commandments. Observe the Sabbath day and keep it holy, and it's and these things always take place on it. They always take place on the middle of Saturday, when on days when. Yeah, this is more or less what I sort up. Channel there if you do want to check it out for yourself. If any of you in the chat has attended any of these, I'd be interested to know. Right, bear with me. Send media. Okay. Right, tonight's story. How ridiculous is this one? A mother has been left distraught after she coughed up £150 for a new Henry Hoover, not called a Hoover, vacuum cleaner, get it right. From Asda, only to discover it was a second-hand Hetty. You know, bit cheeky of Asda, or maybe unfortunate that they resold a second-hand vacuum cleaner. Not much of a story though. I don't think I'd turn this into mainstream media coverage. Shared on the front page of MSN.com. Mum of two, Kate Ronan, claims she's scared of the second-hand Hoover. There's that mistake again, as she thinks that she could catch COVID from it. Come on, people, get real. Wake up. Are we really spending our lives afraid of deliveries now? Is that what it's come to? Can we no longer open the door and greet people anymore without thinking that we need to have some ridiculous piece of paper over our face? I think that's bordering on insanity as far as I'm concerned. Kate 42 says she instantly headed back to Watford store where staff was told she couldn't help. Basically a bit of an advert for Hetties, as I think they mentioned that they're on offer or something. Sorry guys, 1 second, I'll be right back. Okay, yes, this person who went to Asda, I think it was, we get to hear a story. Is this honestly news? Is this mainstream news? As I struggled to pick up the heavy box and make my way out of the building, they stood and watched on and pointed at a part I had dropped. Miss Ronan, who works as the company director for a travel agent, says that Asda's head office offered her a £15 voucher. However, she says it's unacceptable and wants a new Hoover. She might want to try looking for a Hoover then, and not a Hetty or a Henry. Miss Ronan called the situation disgusting. It's basically telling us, I believe this is setting a standard for our thoughts and totally trying to program us to believe that you should now be afraid of second-hand goods. If something isn't out of a for some reason, if someone's coughed anywhere near your vacuum cleaner, then there's a high chance that you could pick up a deadly illness. The very same deadly illness that has had people such as Michelle in our live chat telling us that they've shut establishments like they haven't actually shut them, but they're not letting people in unless they can fulfill a certain criteria. I'm curious whether that's coming in over here. What actually appears to be on the way from what I can see. Who knows what's on the way? You never know which way it's going to swing. Okay, I'm not going to try and predict the future, but if we all get shut up again like we did last year, wouldn't it be a bit of a insult to people that have had their two spikes, as it were, their 2 shots of poison? Would it not be a bit of an insult to them that even after they've done all this stuff, I mean, for example, loads of Premier League football matches were cancelled this week due to, let me see, I'm not sure, they just thought, well, you know what, we're going to stop playing football for a few days. Actually, interesting what they did make use of one of the football stadiums with. We'll have a look. Where was it? They used Stamford Bridge for a particular purpose on Saturday rather than start kicking a football around. They made good use of one of these stadiums while my computer struggles to load something. Will they shut? Well, basically, yeah, there were big queues queuing up outside Stamford Bridge as they were using it for a site where they were going to apply some. Right. Let's see. I almost feel like I shouldn't be putting somehow to me. It's one that is constantly overused. Where's the queues of them all queuing up outside Stamford Bridge? Okay. Stamford Bridge. We'll move on from this if we can't find it. Used for... Yeah, I mean, maybe they... mass COVID centres within days at Wembley Stadium and Stamford Bridge. Actually, maybe they did use it to be open. Is this actually something new? Or are they just literally telling us they're overloading us with it now? Oh, something about pop-ups, cookies. Yeah, so what a surprise. They cancelled half the football. Is this story about it, I believe? Major incident declared in London amid hugely concerning spread. By spread, what they actually mean is lots of people are taking tests and the results are coming back favourably, I guess you could call it. Are we, yeah, I hope no one out there is living in fear of the supposedly rubbish they tell it is waiting around every corner and even finds itself on Hetty vacuum cleaners now. don't find yourself picking up any used goods, second-hand products, because it could be infested, basically. Could have bacteria crawling over all over it? Well, possibly, although BS19 of course isn't a bacteria, it is a pathogen. It is a minute speck, would you call it a toxin or something the human body produces? Basically human waste by the look of it, if we buy what they tell us. Yeah, of course there are alternative theories are always available, as I'm sure you're aware. But they are now saying, yeah, everything's going to have to shut down. But however, yeah, however, we're going to make good use of the football stadiums, as that's this comes from the 15th of December actually, so a few days ago they announced it. Wembley will open a mass site on Sunday. Stamford Bridge is also opening up. The spokesman said football stadia have played a vital role in the rollout of our programme. While they certainly did, football clubs, football stadiums have certainly played a massive role in the rollout of the programme. It's exactly what it is, a programme. It's not a pandemic, it's not a illness, it's a programme which is being rolled out full force, basically. Going at it completely. You can avoid it though. If you really stay away from mainstream media, you can avoid it. Now, of course, I don't want to popularise this rubbish really by talking about it too much, but I'm also not going to say that I hope it doesn't ruin your Xmas's. Personally, I'm not someone that celebrates Christmas. It is a pagan festival. And this year, Christmas Day happens to fall on the Sabbath day, so go careful, people. That is, I take it serious, that I do genuinely believe we should be observing the Sabbath day every Saturday evening. Friday evening to Saturday evening. It does give your week a really nice structure. Well, it's a new structure. But it's interesting what seems to go on Saturday afternoons. The ultimate in commercialism, and yeah, personally I say give yourself one day of the week where you don't take part in that rubbish. Not always easy. Right, I'm going to have a quick look at the live chat. Marie Ellender, thanks for joining us, good to see you. Susan Byrne, Adinath would rather have a Hetty than a Vax. Actually, we do have a Hetty. We've got a pink Hetty, just like in that picture. Maybe that's what drew me to it. They're pretty good vacuum cleaners. If I was a vacuum cleaner reviewer, I would give them good marks. I've had one for 10 years. It's been used at least every week, maybe 2 weeks, and works. Yeah, still in great condition. Anyway, we're not talking about vacuum cleaners. I'm not going to get sidetracked. Susan Byrne, yes. Mudlark says people need passports if they're attending events with over 10,000 spectators in England. Mudlark, you're absolutely correct. But look what happened. All the events with 10,000 spectators or more, they're all being shut down anyway. So is it going to be you jump through every single hoop? I did leave a tweet this weekend. Let me see if I can find it. And I stand by this. Where was it? Anyone hoping their treatment plan would allow them to attend Premier League footy this weekend may be disappointed. Shocker. I have said before, the reason, as much as I will never put faith in anything the government does, the reason I will not give in to the pressure and join their cult, as it were, join their solemn assembly to Jehu Solemn Assembly. I'm not going to take part in it. The Premier League is under increasing pressure to suspend this weekend's entire schedule following a raft of coronavirus enforced postponements. They didn't. They scrapped all the 3 p.m. kickoffs on Saturday afternoon. So yeah, even if you have these passports, can you even guarantee that these events are even open at the moment? Are going to be open? Right, Maria Ellender says there's a good reason to believe that Ghislaine Maxwell is not the person in court, but a body double. Marie, I genuinely believe that everyone involved in the Ghislaine Maxwell, Prince Andrew, is that the right one? And Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein, are all body doubles from start to finish. I don't think any of it is legitimate. A high-profile story that seems to, for all of us that do despise the elite, it's almost like that story's a dream come true. It's like, yeah, we got some great ammo against the royals, against the people, Prince Andrew, for example, being mixed up in it all. Last week, the title of the live stream was Rage-Based Mind Control, where I asked, are they controlling us as much with rage as they do with trauma? I mean, there's been some wonderful presentations on trauma-based mind control and how the government have used it in particular events over the last sort of 10 years at least, maybe longer. They do like to keep us in a state of fear, and depending on them, leading us to believe that we need the police to protect us from terrorists that are waiting to blow themselves up around any possible corner. Right, I went off my train of thought a bit there. Right, yeah. So I'm not going to believe anything the mainstream media choose to report about anything, any of these royal members of the royal families. When you get like Prince Harry dressing up as a Nazi to attend a birthday party, it's all designed to enrage us, pretty much. And yeah, I try and keep away from it. Michelle from Oz says you'll never get tested. No, I'm the same here. I'm not gonna go for that one. It's also interesting to see. I mean, yeah, I'm not saying for definite that the government are really, are definitely trying to wipe us all out, or they want to steal every single freedom that we have. Maybe it's the case, but let's say that isn't necessarily the case. Let's say they are decent people that aren't followed around by corruption and what's the other word? Sleaze. Often hear about sleaze being linked with politicians. Let's pretend that isn't reality. That isn't the case, and they just want us to buy their product. I'm still not gonna. Yeah, I'm just basically gonna not. It's as simple as that. You make a decision, do I want their product or not? Not for me, thanks. You can push it with adverts. You can have every celebrity in the world endorsing it, which they've pretty much got now. Talking about football, where did I see it? I don't have it lined up, unfortunately, but perhaps I'll find it somewhere. It was a video. I know who it was. I know where it came from now. It was a video of Jurgen Klopp. I'm sure we could find it, actually. Let's see. If I go to my subscriptions, I don't mean to play too many people's work. I do like to pretty much stream as much of my own as I can. The guy is called Mr. Cheswick. Again, another good channel. was it? Yeah, I'll leave a link to this guy's channel. Here we had Jurgen Klopp. A treacherous backstabbing snake oil salesman. But just like we're talking about, yeah, Maria Ellender, I totally agree with you when you say you believe it could have been body doubles, because I thought I'd paused that. Why is he still like he was waiting around? Yeah, I don't doubt for a second that they're using body doubles. Who is Ghislaine Maxwell? You may or may not remember a video I put out about Prince Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein being maybe the same person. Do I stand by that 100%? No, I can't say for definite that they're the same person. Can I say for definite, or do I believe that for definite they're not as presented? Absolutely. Could all be actors. Could be the same. Well, Epstein and Andrew might not be the same person. It could be one of many actors that play the same role. Perhaps they all just need some prosthetics, and it's interesting how many of these people do have quite unusual features. Take this guy, Jurgen Klopp. Check out his mouth. Well, yeah, just fake features, not real. We'll watch this guy a minute.
Jürgen, you mentioned the vaccination status of your squad there and the boosters. Is that something that moving forward?
Hang on, I'll start again. Didn't have the audio on. Oh, the subtitles.
Jürgen, you mentioned the vaccination status of your squad there and the boosters. Is that something that moving forward you will likely to take into consideration when it comes to potential signing of players?
Didn't think about it yet.
What a load of rubbish. This whole entire interview is primed for this guy to say what he's about to say. There is no way he hasn't thought about this. And to be honest, the guy normally wears glasses, but they've got rid of that prop now. They've sent one out without his glasses this time. Look at his teeth and tell me these teeth are real.
To be honest,
he's never thought about it.
Whatever. Who knows where we will be, in which situation the world will be when we start signing players again. All these kind of things, but it's not important in the moment. It's more in the moment. It's important, and I think that's just the whole thing. The whole vaccination thing is for me a massive. It's a question of solidarity.
There you go. Every single celebrity in the world could be endorsing this product, and they are. I used to be a big fan of Liverpool Football Club growing up. I caught the FA Cup final back in 1986, and I watched Liverpool win. And it was the first time I ever saw them, and I was a fan. I loved the red. I loved everything about them. Nagged my poor mother to buy me Liverpool top every single year. And, well, not every single year, but, every time they changed it, which is now every single year. Yeah, I was into it, hook, line and sinker. I now, don't buy a word these people say. Certainly won't listen to them either. I'm going to have another look at the live chat. Maria Ellender says she went for lunch with family and then onto a pantomime yesterday. Nobody asked for proof of it, and you didn't wear a mask and not challenged. Maria, I'm really pleased to hear that. And that does tend to be reality now. People haven't got back into that mind. Well, some have, definitely, but you can go into shops now and you're not getting pushed on, where is it? I've had one person ask me, actually, and that was in a charity shop. But yeah, I'm not gonna. Right, I'm gonna share a link to this guy's channel, or to this video actually. Mr. Cheswick, he does some quite comical music videos. If you're not already familiar with this guy, if you're not, yeah, I would recommend familiarising yourself with him, because he's. Where's my live chat gone? Nope. Oh, apologies, I've got lost. There we go. Right, I will be catching up with the live chat. Apologies if I've missed anyone's. Obrek and CC Jelly, greetings and thanks for joining us. Good to see you in the live chat. Right, this was Mr. Cheswick video. There we go, it's in there. Okay, right, as I said, I was going to catch up with the live chat. Yeah, Maria, I'm really pleased to hear that. I hope it stays that way. Yeah, unfortunately, we know the masses, the news believers are more than happy to go along with. Once there's pressure, they will eventually go along with it. Unfortunately, that's how it seems. Mudlight says, I didn't watch much Hugo Talks. I think he may be an agent. I've never actually watched much of him, to be honest. I've had people share his videos, but it's just not a channel I've ever come. Well, I have come across it. I don't know, but hugely popular. I know that much. I mean, there's a couple of them actually, and Hugo's Talks. Yeah, I do mix them up actually. I know there's like a ginger Irish guy. I think he's Irish. He's got ginger hair. I don't think it's that particular channel, but there is another guy, and I'm a bit suspicious about him actually. Again, looks like he might have the prosthetics on his face. Maria Ellender says, totally agree about Sabbath observance. Glad to hear that. It is not. Yeah, it's not always easy. You sometimes feel like you're literally on your own, as the entire world use that specific time to, constantly. That's when I believe the shops are busiest, Saturday afternoon, Saturday mornings. But yeah, it does actually, I recommend it. It does make it gives you a good routine. If you're fortunate enough to not have a job where you are required to work those hours. But as I say, I've been in a fortunate position where I've been able to observe the Sabbath the last year or so. Right. Mudlark, you say it's just your opinion. I'm not. I don't watch enough of the guy. We could have a look at his channel actually. Again, it's very easy to call people out just because they're popular. Just because they're successful doesn't automatically make every channel, creator an agent. But let's see. I'm not sure if we see much of the guy. He has got he doesn't list his subscriber count, but yeah, his views get 30,000. I believe generally your views are about 10% of your subscription base, not always. But yeah, look at them. Some of them are in the 4.4 million. I do believe that they want us enraged. So maybe YouTube would. I don't know. If they're backing what loose women say, no, I couldn't watch it, to be honest. Who cares what people on loose women say? The belly of the beast, as it were. Right, Obrex says, leaves racism at the 33rd minute. I hadn't heard that one. We could have a look at that. Yeah, all the racism in football, I think, is a bit dodgy. We will have a look at that one, actually. It wouldn't be hard for them to fabricate this sort of thing. We've had it plenty of time before. Allegations of racism. So did they stop the match, I'm guessing? All this kneeling down. It's ridiculous. Do we really believe all these footballers have been kneeling down for the last however many years because was he homeless? I'm not sure if... I'm not going to say they presented him as a down and out, but the death of George Floyd, if you look at how they presented him, he was a down and out. Not that I believe anyone's down and out. I wouldn't ever be disrespectful to a person that finds himself without stable living, for example. It does affect people, so you're not a down and out just because you're homeless. But this guy, George Floyd, he wasn't exactly one of the Lodge brothers, unless he was. Who knows? He did appear in porn films, but again, that doesn't make him any less legitimate. Anyway, ever since this guy had his neck kneeled on, I think even before they even had like a decision from the jury, a verdict, about the police officers, these footballers were kneeling down, and they're still doing it. Right, the Football Association launched an investigation into alleged racist incident during Arsenal's 4-1 Premier League win at Leeds on Saturday. Gunners substitute Rob Holding approached the fourth official in the 33rd minute. Alright, things have to happen on the 33rd minute of a football game. Doesn't automatically make it it could just be coincidence, of course. Unlikely. If it was coincidence and it wasn't part of the narrative, they wouldn't be telling us. Play was halted. Yeah, right. Like they're going to halt a football game because some football fans are chanting. Doubt it. Maybe they do. I think that's ridiculous. Oh, that was a point. At these march, I can't remember which one it was. It was yesterday afternoon. And he was in... You could see people in the actual crowd riling everyone up. Like they were actually trying to almost like orchestrate them, as it were. They were like the orchestrators. Oh, we're just going to have to sit for oh no, we're past the advert. And it's when they... and it's when the police approach... are being surrounded by dozens of protesters, and there are, of course, your typical always present photographers on hand to film this. Yeah. Is this the one we watched earlier? It may not be the right one. It's where a load of police officers get fenced in. Let's see. Interesting though. I haven't seen a lot of coverage on the mainstream media about this. I'm sure it must get out there, but it's true to say that they're not actually reporting... Well, are they reporting these protests are going on? I don't follow mainstream media, so I couldn't tell you either way, but I did see someone on Twitter earlier saying that these protests do go unreported, and when you see the size of some of them, that's hard to imagine, because there are a huge amount of people turning out for these things. And that is David Icke's son, I believe, that just happens to be on the screen. As I've said, talking of shills, people have said this guy, Dissent Media, is... I don't believe he's a shill, okay? Useful idiot, and I don't mean to be disrespectful about him, because he's not an idiot, he's a smart, intelligent guy. But I think maybe he's been... Maybe he's... Oh, I'm not going to say it. Whatever. He... No. Yeah, thank you to Dissent Media for sharing this footage. I really, it's good as someone to actually go down there and cover what's going on, because by all accounts, that isn't being done by the BBC, ITV and news and stuff. I don't know. That is just how it seems. Right, we'll go back to the racism in the footy in the 33rd minute, of course. They always kick it out. These people get a mention every time there is a racist incident. These supposedly not-for-profit organisation, they always get mentioned, and I'm sure an awful lot of money gets directed to them by football clubs. We send our solidarity and support to those implicated by it. Well, that's the people that are daft enough to take the time to listen to any of this rubbish anymore on Premier League football. His actions are a great example. What did he do? I didn't read it that closely. His actions are a great example of taking a stand and being an ally to his teammates. What do you think happened? Did someone refuse to play, or were they going to walk off? Gunners substitute Rob Holding approached the fourth official. So that's an Arsenal player saying he had heard racist abuse from Leeds supporters. Play was halted as referee Andre Mariner, he's been around a long time, consulted with match officials and one arrest was made. Goodness me. I'm not sure if we get to see a video of that. I'm sure it would have been on Match of the Day, because it's exactly the sort of thing that Match of the Day would show us. Holding was praised by anti-racism campaigners. Kick It Out. Yeah, of course, we have already read all that stuff. Yeah, Kick It Out must be raking in a fortune at the minute. They have, of course, got some very large backers. Right. Yeah, thanks for sharing that about the football. I hadn't heard of that one. O'Brack, thank you for sharing. Right, CC Jelly says Cheswick used to be currently 74. Sterling work in the Westminster Bridge hoax. Hi all. Yeah, absolutely correct. CC Jelly, thanks for joining us. I haven't already mentioned you. I believe I have. Mudlark says someone's a funny looking fella. Would that be... Sorry, apologies. I've skipped on from probably when you left that. Yeah, who was the funny looking fella, if you don't mind me asking? Susan says, not as funny looking as Chris Whitty. Yeah, Mr. Freak Show himself, Chris Whitty. Right, who are we? Trustees. Who do you think they're partners and supporters? That's what I should have looked at. Who do you think will be among this lot? Some pretty big names. The Premier League, the FA, the Professional Footballers Association, Sky, the League Managers Association, the Football Supporter Federation, all these massive organisations, pride in football, of course, why not? Not that anyone in football is ever gay. It is estimated that around 6% of the population, oh my goodness, right. Yeah, another organisation that are probably getting paid loads of well, they're just a good way of diverting the money that comes into football clubs. And I'm sure we've all heard reports about how much footballers are paid. I don't know if you know it or not. While I do believe they're well-paid individuals, I don't believe it's half as much as they tell us that these players are being paid in football. I imagine it's just a big tax dodge. It's almost like money laundering. You just say, yeah, we happen to pay all of our players like best part of £1 million a week. These are like the really top end players. The top clubs are claiming they pay a player like £1 million a month. I mean, sorry, not $1 million. If I said $1 million a week, I got confused. $1 million a month. I mean, no, you're absolutely right. Chris Whitty is the oddest looking. Who would take advice from someone that looks like this? If you do, it's almost like they're trying to... I'm not being disrespectful to the freak. Sorry, I don't mean that. I'm not horrible about people. But it's almost like they're trying to program you into taking advice from demonic entities. Would you go along with that? That is not a natural look for a human being. Gotta say it. What is the problem? We've spoke before about the, what do they call it? The Uncanny Valley, and that is where CGI, if I just do a search for the Uncanny Valley. I've no doubt looked this up in the past, but we'll have another look. The Uncanny Valley. Right, what is the Uncanny Valley? Androids, avatars, and animations aim for extreme realism, but get caught in a disturbing chasm that has been dubbed the Uncanny Valley. They're extremely realistic and lifelike, but whenever we examine them, we can see that they're not quite human. When a robotic or animated depiction lies in the valley, people tend to feel a sense of unease, strangeness, disgust, and creepiness. Hi, Mr. Chris Whitty. He's not the only one. I'm not aiming it at this guy. He's not the only one. There are a lot of very unusual looking human beings out there. All of them can be found on mainstream media. But yeah, Chris Whitty is I don't know what's going on. Maybe it looks almost like the eyes are superimposed over the top. I don't know. The eyes just are too big for the rest of the face. Very flat forehead. And if we do a zoom in on this, we will see an area where it looks like two heads on one, basically. And this is, I guess, during a live interview. We'll have a closer look at that in a minute. There we go. Oh. Yeah, just up here. I mean, I don't know what. Look how blurred all this part of the head is. And then all of a sudden... Ooh, don't want that. Yeah, I just believe this area here could easily be taped on top, superimposed on top of the guy. Who knows what's going on with him, but he certainly doesn't look real. Have people ever seen him in the street? Does he look like that in real life? Who knows? Or are layers being applied on top? Maybe he looks more human in real life. Who knows? Right. Let me have a look through the live chat. Susan says reptilian. Maybe. Right, Mudlark asks, do I mean Computing Forever, the ginger Irish dude? No, he's not called Computing Forever. He's got a very... I don't know the guy's name. He's got a very... He isn't Irish. I'm mixing him up with someone else, but he's got quite a long, monotonous voice. Or maybe that's... I don't know. No, next time I see one of his videos, I will have a look for the YouTuber I'm on about, but I can't think of his name at the minute. Right. CC says Hugo Talks is one of the few who realises that the iPhone is a tool of voluntary enslavement, not an agent, in my opinion. Fair enough, CC Jelly. Like I say, I don't watch the guy's videos. Until I do, I won't really make a call on that one. Much like Digging Up the Thames, George Floyd is probably still alive. Yeah, I don't think they... Who knows? Yeah, Mudlark, they are indeed still kneeling for Floyd. I believe. I don't ever go to football matches, so I don't know. But the way I believe it is at the start of football matches, they'll do all this kneeling. Then they'll have a minute's silence for the latest local death that might have happened. And they go through this whole... I believe they also pass flags back and forward, which are something to do with Masons. I don't know. That's a wild thing to put out there. It's to do with Masons, but they do hand over these rosettes or something. They're like bits of cloth which the similar thing that the Masons do. Yeah. citation will be in the description somewhere. Right. Maria Ellender says the policeman who went on trial as Chauvin was another body double. Yep, you're absolutely right. The person who did away with supposedly finished George Floyd. That whole attack, I don't know if you ever watched it. As we've said before, most normal human beings will not watch a video of a guy being kicked to death or beaten to death or nailed on to death by police officers. They just won't watch it. So they never truly investigate this stuff, which is totally understandable. Once you realise no one, or that's not how it seems, you spot things. For example, George Floyd was able to pick himself up off the floor while the police officer's foot was supposedly, well, the knee was on the back of his neck. Yeah, they've got ways of doing it. They know what they're doing. Mudlark says Jurgen Klopp's a funny fella. You're absolutely right. He is. He's got, well, his teeth look like he's literally just put them in ready for the interview. Maybe he has. And Mudlark also tells us Chris Whitty is a crash test dummy with human skin. Oh, the poor guys. I don't want to give you nightmares, so I won't keep him on air any longer. However, I'm going to look at Instagram. I came across this story. It really didn't sit right with me. Where is it? Maybe I don't know. It's something to do with this one. This person. In fact, they are literally everywhere. On one of the stories we were looking at earlier, it was probably on here. They had a link. Yeah, here they are. This is the same people here. Joe Swash is. They creep these people into our lives if we waste our time reading about it. Here is another supposedly new mother. I think she's just had a baby quite recently. And yeah, there's something weird about them. There's something weird about all of them. As always, this looks like they're literally just using the same weird shaped head doll that we saw with Jake Quickenden. I imagine most of you have seen those vids. Oops. Right, yeah, for me, the baby's head is far too long. Well, and yeah, there does seem to be a very clear area here. I don't know. If you just look above at this area, you can, yeah, for me, that doesn't look real. It looks like they have got two heads. Here's the first one. That's the first baby, and it's been stitched onto another baby's head, which would probably go, if it's a normal shaped head, would be more like this, I think. Maybe a bit bigger. Ooh. I don't know. I think that would be a natural size head for a baby. I'm not sure. Considering where the skull goes, who knows? I've got one of my little interrupters, the cat. Yeah, so here we are, more fakery on Instagram. I am on Instagram now, actually. Yeah, there was another picture. They've got loads of baby bump ones. And again, it may look real, it may look legitimate, but I want to see videos, actually. Because they never move around correctly for me. When they've got these bumps in, they never walk right. And would you share absolutely everything? Would you share all this stuff with on your public Instagram account? I don't know. Yeah, as I say, it may look real, it may look good, although that doesn't to me. I don't know. I'm not 100% convinced by that stomach there. Looks a bit silicone, maybe. Not saying it definitely is silicone, but doesn't look the most real, actually. Yeah, for me, I don't know. There's something about, yeah, and even the set they're at, it's almost like our little ball of heaven. We can't wait to meet you soon and bring you home to Pickle Cottage. They want us to believe this couple live in Pickle Cottage with pink roses on their wall. It's mental. Right, I've got to let the cat out, unfortunately. Bye, cat. Okay, we are getting around to 11 o'clock, so I am going to need to start winding down shortly. I do want to catch up on the live chat, and if anyone's got any subjects they want us to look at before we end tonight, then please leave them in the live chat. That'd be good. Let me just have a look. Yeah, Mudlark says never seen such scary eyes. Michelle seems to be complaining that her eyes are burning after looking. To be honest, these people are no better as far as I'm concerned. People will criticise me for looking at these children's pictures. They'll say, why are you taking these people's children and, you know, making videos about them, which was fair enough. But don't put them in such a public domain if people don't want me to. Look at that. Get real. Not buying it. Come on. If we can't see that, we've got problems. If we're accepting that as a legitimate looking baby, we've got some issues. We need reality checks when we accept this as a real baby. No, afraid not. It's beyond ridiculous. Oh. I'm afraid I cannot do that. And what I bet it's about 10 days old and it's got his head up in such a way. The other child, is it real? No idea. Could be, yeah. Doesn't look half as ridiculous as this one. It doesn't look half as unusual as this baby. Oh. But yeah, still could definitely be the old superimposing. Yeah, so as I was saying, anyone who has any problems with me inspecting the pictures that these celebrities put up on, look at that, come on. Yeah, any problems with me inspecting these pictures, saying you shouldn't be making videos about their children. Well, these people shouldn't be putting shouldn't be putting such pictures in such a public domain. You know, keep it private, for goodness sakes. Right. Mudlark says, if I ever see him in real life, I might die of shock. It would be interesting to see the guy in real life. It really would. Susan says Floyd's coffin was really small considering his size. Yeah, no doubt. All props, just like these babies. All props. Yeah, oh, come on, please. I know it's underwater, but that's irrelevant. We're not honestly saying that's a real child, are we? Come on, people. At some point, you've got to say, no, not going along with this anymore. I am drawing the line. I mean, maybe it is a doll. If this story, if this Instagram post is about anything other than, look at this doll we took a picture of, I'm going to be massively surprised. What does she say? My underwater pickle. Last week, Rex completed stage 1 of his swimming lessons, so that today we got to celebrate and take some underwater pictures. No, come on. Get real. It's not. It's legit. They want us to believe it. They want us to believe that this odd-looking child that's normally, I don't know if that's the same one as that long-haired baby or what, but no, come on. Personally, I can't accept that as a real life baby. Look at the eyes. It's just, yeah. They look about as fake can look. Right. Susan Burns says, man, Stacey can't have babies. No, you're right. Mudlark, I bet lots of small children have nightmares after seeing Chris Whitty. He is the sort of person that would be very disturbing to come across, just like this child. I don't mean to be... Right. Michelle from Oz tells us we had a bouncy castle accident in Tasmania, killed 6 children, and parents are never off social media. Oh, that... when was the accident, Michelle? I'd be interested to know. Because most people wouldn't make a public thing about. Maybe we'll have a look at that before we close down for the night. Mudlark says the baby has an orange tan. You got that right. Mudlark says it could be CGI. Too right, it could. I think the majority of it, if not all of it, is. Because yeah, that baby, something is not right with that one. Right, before I wind down this evening, yeah, a couple of things couple of subjects I'm going to touch on before I finish. I think I've pretty much looked at all the subjects I had that I wanted to. We could have a look at the story about the bouncy castle. Tanzania, isn't it? No, what do you call it? Tasmania? Tanzania? Tasmania, right. Death toll for jumping castle disaster rises to 6. I saw this. I think actually I did spot this. I saw something about a death toll number of children, but I didn't really know what it was. Right. Death toll for bouncy castle disaster rises to 6 as boy 11 dies. So the press are literally following this minute for minute. They're never off the phone to the press office at the hospital. I mean, it sounds like it says a 6th child has died after a jumping castle was blown 10 metres in the air by a freak gust of wind. That was actually what I always dreamed of as a kid, that a bouncy castle took off. I would hope to be in such a thing. But apparently 6 kids have now taken a tumble. Obviously, in the event that a child died in a disaster, I would never laugh at such a thing. Just want, you've got to be respectful. There are people that will accept this as a legitimate story. I'm not ruling it out. Can't rule it out immediately, even if it is given massive coverage on mainstream media, like minute by minute reporting. On Friday, police released the names. Really, they released the names. Sorry, when was this disaster? Let me read it. This was 18 hours ago. An end of year celebration, so it can't have been that long ago, considering the year hasn't ended yet, unless we're talking about a different calendar. Police Commissioner Darren Hine confirmed 11-year-old Chase Harrison died in hospital. Would they really hold a press conference? Is that not in bad taste? When a child dies, you don't hold a press conference, do you? You allow the parents and the family to grieve and come to terms with it. You don't hold a press conference. That's weird. 2 children are in a critical condition at the Royal Hobart Hospital, and one was released on Friday to recover at home. The tragedy unfolded Thursday morning at Hillcrest Primary School when the bouncing house was picked up by a mini tornado. Okay. On Friday, police released the names of the 5 other Year 5 and 6 students who lost their lives in the disaster. Zane Mellor, Peter Dott, Jay Sheehan, Juliet, JJ, wow, what a name. Jalia Jane Marie Jones. Wow. All aged 12, and Addison Stewart, 11. Even the Prime Minister talked about this. Look, you can tell it's real because we've got a really blurry picture of a child holding something with their name on. And that was brought to us by GoFundMe, of course. Okay. Of course, that reminds me actually in the week, I don't know if any of you caught it. It was the what do you call it? It was the trailer for this video tonight. The video I brought out in the week about Boris Johnson last Sunday repeatedly mentioning waves and tsunamis. Oh, I say repeatedly. It came up. It did come up a couple of times. The very next day, I was hearing reports of a tornado in Kentucky that ripped the place apart. Does that mean that's what he was talking about? Maybe not, but I did think it was a coincidence. I did think it was worthy of making a video about. CC Jelly says Bouncy Castle tragedies are hoaxes. There was one in Harlow, possibly recycling adoption of children. Right. Michelle from Oz has shared a link. Thank you very much. CC Jelly, major incident is another hoax code. Good to know. Do you know on this computer I don't actually have a calculator, unfortunately. I'd be interested to see if there was one. Pythagorean. Now I'm sure there is a website where you can right, Pythagorean. Oh, goodness sakes. Maybe it was Chaldean, actually. There's two. Chaldean numerology calculator. I know there is, of course, gematria calculators, but some of those things, well, they're very in depth and things that I'm not actually. Yeah, I don't. As I was saying, I do not have a decent numerology calculator or even a link to one on this computer. So I know there's many other ones other than Chaldean. I don't know what this is. Pythagorean. And okay, right, I'll put it in and we'll see what we come up with. What was the thing you said? Breaking news, was it? Oh, major incident is a hoax code. Let's have a look. Right, has that done anything? Major incident. I mean, this may not be in Chaldean. It's 43, obviously. I don't know what that is in any of the other ones. Right. Yeah, thanks for sharing those, CC Jelly, letting us know that. Muddler says the numbers 6 and 11. Okay. Our Prime Minister went so very suspect, Michelle from Oz. Oh, CC Jelly, you're saying it's a coded anytime you see the words major incident in a news story, you're saying it's a hoax code. I'm with you now. Thank you very much. Yeah, a bit like seeing the number 33 or 22 or 44, 666. Yeah, I know there's plenty of, as you say, codes, things that tell you that this is all that a lot of the stuff going on is indeed a hoax. You're absolutely correct. Right, Maria Ellender says, I was teaching in her HMP at the time of the Harlow incident and interviewed the guy who owned the bouncy castle, charged with manslaughter. Do you know what? I don't ever remember the Harlow incident, to be honest. You say he was charged with manslaughter. Did he do time? Maria Ellender, if you're able to, if you know that information or can share it, I do appreciate not everything, yeah, there is. But yeah, interesting to know. Yeah, I've not heard of the Harlow one actually, so I will have a look. I'm not sure how recently that was. Yeah, I mean, even with like terror events, people still get interviewed. So, oh, right. We do of course have a link from Michelle that I'm going to have a look at. Right. Yes, we'll probably call it a night after we look at this, actually. Bouncy castle accident. Boy 11 becomes the sixth child to be killed. Okay, thanks for sharing this. Freak mini tornado whipped up inflatable 30 foot. We're hearing a lot about tornadoes actually at the moment. Of course, Kentucky was supposedly struck by one last week. Well, not one, loads of them. Are they claiming it's? Are they trying to say this was global warming or temperature, climate change, or whatever rubbish they come up with? Now, if you saw someone trying to take photographs of an area where 6 children had died, would you not chase them off with a stick? Would you not tell him to get stuffed? You absolute ghoul, you're not taking photos of this area. And yet these people are absolutely fine with a camera crew being there to take a picture of this. Yeah, I need to. If anyone's got a link to the one that happened in Harlow or any more information, it would be good to know. Oh, here we go. Authorities have said that the initial witness reports indicated that the children were thrown from a height of about 33 feet. Wow. I thought they said 10 feet in the other one. What was the other thing that had 33 in earlier? Well, that was the Leeds racism. Yeah, so once again, their numbers are coming up. Of course they are. No surprise to see it. Nearby residents recalled seeing the terrifying moment, the jumping castle being swept up by the wind. Bob Smith told the Mercury, I saw kids on the ground. There was really a really strong gust of wind on what was a beautiful calm day. At first we thought it might have been an emergency service training exercise. What? At first, we thought it might be an emergency services training exercise. Then the reality of what was happening kicked in. What a bizarre thing to say. A military training exercise. Why would you even bring that up? Tasmanian police have confirmed a significant local wind event. Could that be another hoax code, do you think? Contributed to the tragedy. This is a very tragic event, and our thoughts are with the families, the Commander Debbie Williams said. There is no doubt that this has been a very confronting and distressing scene. Well, yeah, you should know because you allowed photographers to take a picture of it. How insane. It's beyond ridiculous. I bet every one of these kids has now got a GoFundMe account going, and guarantee one will have weird ears, maybe all of them. maybe they'll all have weird ears. Yes, of course they've all got weird ears. What are we talking about? Check out this kid. Their ears are always absolutely messed up. And the picture quality is always really low as well. Okay, actually they don't look so unusual in everyday, on a close-up. Although there would appear to be a gap just down there. Of course, we all have gaps in our ear, but yeah, this one doesn't look right at all. Yeah, there's something odd going on in that general area. Right. What are the other ones looking like? Yeah, and if you've, as I said, I don't know when this actually took place. How long ago was it? Because I'm not sure they would be releasing photos of these kids so early. It just seems a bit insensitive. The 19th of December, so it's literally just happened. And already they've got every single child's picture on the mainstream news. Yeah, hoax all the way. That is, yeah, without doubt, unfortunately. I'm not going to play the videos on this one. I'm not going to subject you to that. Although I could, I guess. Right, another couple of links from Michelle. Another mini Sydney, a mini tornado. Right, always squeeze a bit of advertising in over the report of 6 dead children. Right, okay, Michelle, we will have another look at your links in a minute. Actually, I am going to have to, I'm going to wind up in a few minutes, okay? So bear with me, but thank you for sharing the links. 1 second, sorry. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Right, yeah, we'll have a look at your links, Michelle. Maria says, I actually thought the young man was joking when he told me that what he was in prison for. Okay, so you actually saw the guy and he did some time, yeah? Or was he like on remand? And you interviewed the guy who owned the bouncy castle. Oh, sorry, bear with me 1 second. I will be right back. Okay, I am going to have to wind down in a second, unfortunately. I'm very sorry to say. I have had, have very much enjoyed sharing a stream with you. 1 second, we will just, as I said, we will look at the links very quickly. If I do have to stop suddenly, then you'll know why. Well, you won't know why actually, will you? But, right, where's the live chat? Let me find it. There we go. It's got right. Ridiculous. Okay, these are the last couple of things we're going to look at before we do closed down for the night. Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry, bear with me. Oh. Right. Hang fire. Right, sorry. We'll be back to look at that in 1 second, I promise. Okay, thank you for sharing the links, Michelle. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm going to have to wind it up. But right, let's have a quick look at this. Summer Grant, Harlow, Bouncy Castle Death, and what was the other link? Was from the Mail. Tens of thousands are still without power the morning after a mini tornado ripped through the Sydney suburbs, killing a woman and injuring 2, as shocking photos show storm's trail of destruction. Huh. Interesting. Those pictures aren't quite loading up, unfortunately. Right, I'm going to have to start closing down some of my tabs because it's it is slowing my PC down, unfortunately. If you could believe that. Yeah, I'm getting the swirling fan. This generally tends to happen after about 2 hours. The computer does start packing up, unfortunately. I hope the stream is still quite smooth and you can still watch and hear me all right. Yeah, we're grinding to a halt now, I think. Right. We'll just let the system catch up with itself. Okay, right, yeah, thank you, thanks Michelle for sharing links. I do much appreciate it. Yeah, I do want to see these. Oh, the homes ripped apart by a mini tornado. Okay, something certainly caused a bit of damage to the roof. Is that definitely done by a tornado? Let's have a look. Funny though, they say, yeah, not really a lot of damage except for what appears to be, oh, I guess that's some sheet metal that's been ripped up and dropped on a house. Again, not something which couldn't be done with CGI. Oh, of course, this was the Kentucky one, wasn't it? Where, no, is that? It looks identical. A freak storm battered the northern beaches on Sunday, killing a woman and leaving 2 fighting for her life. Pictured is a unit block in DY, which had its roof torn off when the mini tornado ripped through the area just after 3 p.m. Yeah, a lot of these pictures look very similar to the story we heard about Kentucky as well. And this is a story about Summer Grant Harlow about a worker who was jailed for the death of a girl. First thing I see is the numbers, unfortunately, but of course that doesn't necessarily mean So I guess it must have been Shelby, that's a man's name. Either, I guess. I won't ask you to reveal which of these two people it was, Maria, but yeah, good to know that at least, someone was in prison. Chelmsford Crown Court. Summer Grant 7, who died in a bouncy castle accident. Right. Again, seeing the parents just flaunted in front of the cameras. I don't know, that just seems a bit disrespectful to me that parents would allow themselves to be photographed after losing. No, I wouldn't accept it. Well, I don't know, it just doesn't look right to me. This was going back to 2016, while this news story is, I bet it's 2016, isn't it? They didn't even wait. Okay, 2018 actually this is, so it was a couple of years after the incident. Summer Grant was playing on the inflatable at the town park fun fair when it was swept 300 metres down a hill. I may have vaguely heard about this story. It does sort of ring a bell. 2016, I was probably... Oh no, 2018, wasn't it? But it was 2 years after it happened, is that right? Yeah. While I see the one in Australia, I can clearly see the hoax code. No, that wasn't this one, was that? Right, hang on. Right. Okay. Death toll for... Yeah, this one here, where they've already released all the pictures of the kids, like literally a day or so after it happened. No, not a legitimate story for me. The one about the people in Harlow, I don't know. I'd have to look closer at that one. We have one of our people in the live chat confirming that they know, they interviewed someone who was convicted based on this. So yeah, maybe it'd be worth something to look at in another live stream. CC Jelly says, running a company in prison. Huh, who's doing that, I wonder? Okay. Oh, CC Jelly, yeah, I see you shared one of the links for the Harlow story. Thank you, by the way. Was it? Or am I getting mixed up? Michelle shared this one about the one in Sydney, and CC Jelly shared the story about Harlow. About which I'm gonna, sounds like you guys may know more about this story than I do. I'm not going to say that's not a real image of a child, so I don't know. But the parents allowing themselves to be photographed by photographers, no. I would say you're not turning my child's death into a thing for you to sell your rags. It just wouldn't go along with that. And they've got every... Look, and you can see here they've got an official account of every single thing that happened on that evening. Strong went right down to Karen and colleague Tommy King were in the town park, and they went to the town centre with a livestock for an Easter celebration. The roof of the gazebos was flapping violently. It was quite strong winds. We've got every blow-by-blow account of these people's deaths, or the death of this child, it just doesn't seem, I don't know. It's strange to see a child's life put in such blunt terms like that. Okay, where are we? I am going to wind down. Actually, before I do, I did want to make you aware of a new series of videos that I'm gonna be making over the next few weeks. I do hope to have the first part coming soon. This is the Coronation Street Gallery. We did have a look at this in the pre-show. If you were with us, you would have seen, this motley crew of individuals. They will all feature in a series of videos that I've got coming up. Think of it like a game of Snap, where once you match two people, so let's say if you said number 4 and I can't remember who it was now, Gail, number 13, and I would say, ting, you got it, well done. And then we'd move on to the next character. Let's say Sally, I tell you what, I will be covering all these actors from Coronation Street in some upcoming videos that will be coming soon. That would be this one. Yeah, I don't know if anyone else out there follows Coronation Street particularly closely. Right, this guy here, Tyrone. I don't know if any of you watch Corrie. Who do you think this guy's matched with on this board? He's still on there. Think of it as this is number 1, this is number 2, right down to 6. This would be number 7. I'm curious. 8, 9, 10. This would be number 12. What number you think? Who was it? I can't even remember now. Whoever it was, Nick Cotton. Who do you think he is matched with on this one? I'd be curious to know before we wind down. You can find out. Like I said, I will be planning to bring out the first of this series of vids. I'm not sure what I'm going to call it yet. Any suggestions? Let me know. I was thinking of going along with Coronation Street's actor shortage, or does Coronation Street or does ITV have a shortage of actors because they seem to be using the same ones again and again. Maybe not the case in everyone, but it seems to be. Maria Ellender tells us the guy got 3 years, served half. It was in 2018. Fair enough, Maria. So someone definitely went to prison for it then. Maria Ellender says the weather is manipulated. Do you know what? I think even on some scale, at least on some small scale, I agree with you on that. I think weather can be altered. How much? I don't know. I'm not going to play it, but there is a well-known video of who was it? It was Jeremy Clarkson, and he is out in the desert. Let's see if we can find it. Here we are. Yeah, like I said, I'm not going to play it all, but he claims to. Where was it? Yeah, he claims NASA. Now, bear in mind, NASA are complete liars. They don't tell the truth about anything. Do we really believe that they can actually have this machine here, which can make it rain? Personally, no, I don't. But they do claim that they can make it rain. What do you reckon? CGI? That's the problem, though. I'm not going to play too much of this. So, yeah, I do kind of agree that weather can be manipulated. They're going to make me press the play button, aren't they? Here he is, next to the machine, supposedly. Looks a bit like a rocket taking off. All that smoke and rubbish. Oh, hang on, that does look very CGI, doesn't it? But this is NASA's rain machine. I promise they're not using CGI on this one. It's exactly the same thing, isn't it? I mean, I expect they are using real steam and stuff. They can obviously probably produce steam.
This is the loudest sound you could possibly conceive. And as it turns out, the cleanest.
Okay, I said I wasn't going to play this, but here you go. They can do stuff to the weather, according to NASA anyway. And then about 10 minutes later, Jeremy Clarkson is getting peed on.
It's raining! That's unbelievable!
Do we buy that?
Of hydrogen and oxygen. It's water vapor. And in about an hour's time, someone in Mississippi is going to get wet washing. It will actually rain.
I'm not always completely convinced about anything mainstream media tell us. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they could manipulate the weather, so to speak. Right, Maria says that woman on the bottom row, 16. Michelle says, does Ina Sharples ever get a mention? Very rarely, Michelle. You do not hear much about Sharples. No, I expect they do still mention her occasionally, but you're the first person I've heard mention that name for a long time. Maria says there was a video on YouTube showing the bouncy castle blown away. Interesting. I'm not going to play it now, unfortunately, but maybe we could come back to it if next week. Misha from Oz. Yeah, it would be interested to watch that. I tell you what, if you guys are with us next Sunday, which will be Boxing Day, if you're available, I will be live streaming as usual. I don't let Christmas stop me. If you guys want us to look at it again next week, we could take another look at the look for that video actually. Right. Maria says the woman on the bottom row, number 16, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. This one, to be honest, this is my memory. I can't even remember who I was asking you to match up. I believe I said this guy, Nick. He is matched up with... He would actually be number 18, this guy. That's who I said. These two. This one, number 16, I matched up with this one. But anyway, yeah, you'll have to wait for my pre-recorded videos that will be coming up. I'll be doing part 1 where I look at a couple of these people. Yeah, as I say, hope to have it up in the next week, okay? Michelle, you're showing your age. To be honest, when did Ina Sharples leave? I remember Coronation Street from about the 1980s, about 1984. Hilda Ogden was still in it. Bette Lynch, Alex Gilroy, they were all part of the crew. Cast. The only one that's still is still on there. Actually, some of those people would... Kevin Webster, he was in it back then. Right, guys, we are going to wind down for the evening. Oh, one more thing I did want to let you people know. I am on a new platform. It's not obligatory. I have now signed up to Patreon, and you can join me on here. It does involve a monthly pledge, actually, but you just it's for as little as £1. I will be I'm inviting people to join me as a Patreon. I will leave a link to it in the live chat. I just want to let you know about that. The link is in the description if anyone wants to check me out over there. no obligations, you know. It was just, yeah, thought I would make you guys aware of it. Yeah, I'm asking basically for pledges of £1 a month or more, and you'll have access to all the behind the scenes sort of stuff that we were looking at. Oh. Let's see, where are my posts? Yeah, I've done a couple of posts. I've shown some of my old logos and stuff that I've used. Yeah, if you want to get to know me a bit better, find out a bit more about me, I will be maybe even revealing pictures of myself to Patreons. Yeah, it's just showing some old stuff on there. Yeah, it looks very old. Anyway, yeah, if you want to check me out on Patreon, the link is in the description. So, yeah, please, by all means, have a look. Okay, right, I would like to express my huge thanks to... Okay, let me start. Mudlark Digging Up the Thames, who was with us back in the pre-show, but did say he might not be able to stay for the whole stream. Isa Jones, otherwise known as Kev. Michelle from Oz. Sweet Baby Kitten, I hope you're still listening along. Always good to see you in there, another long-time subscriber. Have I mentioned Michelle from Oz? I probably have. Maria Ellender, thank you for joining us this evening. Addie Nuff, Susan Byrne. Who else have we got? Obrick and CC Jelly. Who else has joined us this evening? Definitely said Susan Byrne. Definitely said Maria Ellender, haven't I? Rebecca Porter. Oh, that's another one of those silly dot names, isn't it? Where they, yeah, was getting a lot of them last week for some reason. Yeah, but everyone who's taken the time to join in the chat, it's great to hear from you all. And I do have a video from December 2017. Which I'll play out with. It goes on for about 4 minutes. It isn't that long. Yeah, was it 2017? I reckon. Let's see. October 2018. No, that's the wrong thing. It was definitely November. What did I say? December 2017. This video was made. Yes, it was about a couple of things. Oh, Mudlark Digging Up the Thames, you stayed for the whole stream. Yeah, of course you have. I've seen your comments throughout. I massively appreciate you being able to tune in tonight, Mudlark. I hope to see you and the rest of you, Susan, CC Jelly, Maria Ellender, Michelle, Isa Jones, Kev, Rebecca Porter. I don't have to see you because you're not a real viewer, I don't think. Yeah, all of you, my wonderful, faithful subscribers. I don't want you to be offended when I say that. Well, I'm not going to say have a good Xmas because it's not something I personally follow. I do also hope to have a video out before Saturday. Yeah, as we were saying earlier, this coming Saturday is, well, part of the Sabbath day, of course, so it's not something I can take part in. But if it is something you do, remember, yeah, probably, no, I won't be doing anything on YouTube on a Saturday daytime, but maybe after sundown, I might possibly, maybe not actually. I do have family who celebrate it and they do expect me to come and see them. and I do quite enjoy mince pies as well, but doesn't mean I take part in the pagan festival. But there is some nice food around at that time of year. Okay. Yeah, huge thank you, everyone. Susan Byrne and Maria Ellender. Wow, Linda, I see. Oh yeah, I see someone's already hit me on Patreon. That's massively appreciated. I do want to put a link in the live chat. I'll do that at the end while the video plays out. Yeah, if you want a bit of a closer relationship, a direct private chat, then yeah, check me out on Patreon. I will make my all my content freely available to everyone, so don't worry, you're not missing out anything too much if you can't do Patreon, but I will always make, I'll continue with doing these live streams. Alright, yeah, take care everyone and have a wonderful weekend, and yeah, enjoy this video from 2017. Good night everyone. Hi everyone, back on Sunday night. I did manage to do a live stream. My apologies, I do have to line up the video for some reason. Right, yeah, I will certainly be back next Sunday, by the way. Yeah, have a good week everyone, and if you are seeing family, try not to get too engrossed in arguing about you know what. But how many families that genuinely believe in that will even let you through the door? That's what I ask myself. Yeah, have a good week, and I'll certainly be back Sunday, if not Saturday. Alright, here we go. Starting the video again. I'm muting myself, yeah. Lovely to hear from everyone tonight, and I'll see you soon. Good night. Take care. Hi everyone, back on Sunday night. I did manage to do a live stream. I have now edited that together and put it up on 153 News. We did get shut down mid-flow unfortunately, but we touched on a few subjects. The Bradford Stadium fire came up, so looked at a few bus attacks and stuff, one of which I mentioned Conor McGregor. If we see here a video I made about it, I did notice that on the back walls here you've got our favourite numbers coming up again, as always. As RV would say, not by chance and not by coincidence. Yeah, the stream did get taken down after we spoke about the Bradford fire, and that was suggested by one of the people watching the streams, Primal Mike. He also mentioned a website, Fakeologist. There is a forum you can use, and Primal Mike mentioned the golf ball accidents that happened at the Ryder Cup. There was one on sport, a general sport thread. Here we are. And what did come up was the accident at the Ryder Cup. And one-eyed salute there from this lady who, after just a couple of days, was happy to pose for pictures despite just losing the sight in one eye. Also a very early diagnosis that she's now blinded. There was also a very similar story in Scotland. Another lady who couldn't look happier about getting hit with a golf ball, and neither could any of the people that witnessed it. Big smiles all round, but as we see, no one has a bigger smile than the lady herself. Pretty insane. I'll leave a link to the extremologist in the description, along with a link to the rest of the live stream. There was one other thing I wanted to pick up. I did want to mention on that live stream, it never got round to it. Nothing to do with sport, but I thought it's quite humorous. You can listen to Hadfield about how to get into space.
The rocket equation, it's a beautiful
really
thing.
Comical.
No astronaut launches for space with their fingers crossed. Not how we deal with risk. What I learned from 20 years as an astronaut is that the more you know, the less you fear.
trying to push that there's a chance you could one day go into space?
The reason I wanted to do this masterclass is to share the hidden depths of purpose that are behind space exploration. When the clock hits 0, start focusing in, thinking of nothing else but the moment.
So how much would you pay for a class by Chris Hadfield? For that single class is £85. I'm sure they're going to give you everything you need to one day go off into outer space.
But the moment that you're in. Study every system on a spaceship and then boil it.
His book, what do you think we'll see any of their favourite numbers coming up? 44, 63, yeah, always.
Down to what I call a one-pager. You've got to be able to solve your problems in one breath.
He says something at the end just to try and sell the whole purpose of this class. I mean, what really are the chances that any of us will be an astronaut? But if you pay £85,
you have to push your lungs forward through the drag of the atmosphere. Crushed into your chair, you're like a leaf in a hurricane. The reason is 1/2 rho v squared s. 16 times the speed of sound. As you accelerate harder and harder, that light blue Florida sky starts to get darker and darker, and then suddenly black. And the engines shut off, and you're weightless. Turn the handle and open the hatch. You pull yourself out into the universe, and now suddenly, when you move your knees, you can feel the searing heat of the sun on one side and the incredibly cold emptiness of space on the other. When you're no longer Earthlings, how do you navigate? You can use the stars. You can actually see how that place where you were raised fits into the overall complexity and reality of the solar system. You start to unavoidably wonder, are we alone in the universe or not? Our technology is just good enough now that some of you taking this masterclass are going to fly in space. Reusable rocket ship.
Did you hear what he said? Now at the point where we are likely to fly in space commercially, so why not invest a bit of money into that?
Our technology is just good enough now that some of you taking this masterclass are going to fly in space. Reusable rocket ships give us access to explore like we've never had before. It will be a great moment of introspection for humanity if you're the person who finds that one little fossilized flower on Mars.
Yeah, good one. Mars, is that really going to happen? Okay, anyway, get on over to 153 News and watch the live stream. And I'll be back again with another video soon.